Good day everyone. Now, in this video, I will be presenting the 4 pillars of OOP, which is the inheritance, polymorphism, encapsulation, and abstractions. Later on, I will be also giving tips and real-life demonstration or application of these 4 OOP. So without further ado, let's start. Now we have inheritance, which is the child class inherits all the properties and methods of the parent class. So you have parent class, which is a superclass or base class, and child class, which is also known as subclass or derived class, wherein the child class inherits all the properties and methods of the parent class. In the diagram, ituring lang natin na yung methods and instances ng parent ay yung skills na pwedeng ma-inherit ng child at magamit nito. Ngayon, yung isang diagram, which is animal as the parent class and dog as the child class. Nandito kasi yung SR relationship. Like, dog is an animal. It's like the dog is a part of a general kingdom, which is yung animal kingdom. So, meron din dito ang tinatawag na method overriding. Kung saan nag-override yung method na yon. So, ito yung instead of yung parent class yung magamit, ito na lang yung nag-e-execute. So, para naman if ever gusto pa rin gamitin yung super class, pwedeng gumamit ng super and open close parenthesis. So, kung makikita dito sa example, merong super class and meron ding subclass. It's like yung subclass ay nasa loob lang siya ng isang class. So here meron ditong example na merong super and open and close parenthesis. So ginagamit yon para magamit yung super class ng subclass para hindi na rin, pwedeng hindi, manually, pero mas mahaba yung code. Dito kasi sa subclass, kumbaga, pwede mo nang gamitin. Kumbaga, ma-inherit mo na lang para konti na lang din yung codes mo. Inherit mo na lang yung attributes ng superclass or yung mother class mo. Yun na lang din yung gagamitin mo. So, ito ang magiging kalalabasan yan. While itong isa naman yung manual, so, mas mahaba siya. Pero inulit lang din yung superclass. Pero same pa rin ang output. So, dito na sa second example, makikita yung method overriding, which is nandun siya sa class car na subclass. Doon sa part ng method na start, def start. Method overriding siya kasi meron ding start doon sa superclass, sa class vehicle, pero magkaiba sila ng implementation. And dahil meron ng ibang implementation dito sa subclass, ito yung masusunod instead doon sa superclass. While yung sa method ng def stop, yung sa baba, meron siyang super and open close parenthesis dot stop, which is tinatawag niya yung method na stop doon sa superclass. Dito sa right side naman, makikita na program, same lang naman, pero walang super open close parenthesis para makita yung difference. And yan nga yung result. Next is polymorphism. Polymorphism means having multiple forms, allows different objects to be treated in the same way even if they come from different classes. So, katulad ng diagram na nandito, universal remote. So, pwede siyang gamitin sa television, speaker, DVD player, pero magkakaiba sila ng functions. Bawa sa television, can watch movies, sa speaker, can listen to music, sa DVD player, can play music naman. But still, magkakaiba mang object sila or appliances, napapagana pa rin sila ng universal remote. So, dito naman sa animals, merong iba't ibang uri na animals, just yung lion, elephant, snake. But still, para-para silang animals, and they all make sounds. Now, there are two key types of polymorphism. First is the method overriding, and the second one is method overloading. So in method overriding, the method in the superclass is the same in the subclass, but it allows the subclass to change its implementation that is already defined in its superclass. So yung method mo sa subclass ay parehas lang ng name, return type, at parameters sa superclass, pero pwede mong baguhin yung implementation mo sa subclass na naka-indicate na sa superclass. Same lang siya nung method overriding din kanina sa inheritance. So tulad ng sa example, kung ano yung nandoon na implementation sa subclass, yun yung lalabas sa output. So, method overloading allows multiple methods with the same name but different parameters, different types, different numbers of parameters, or both to be present in a class. However, it is not supported in Python, hindi katulad ng ibang programming languages. Pero you can achieve similar functionalities using default arguments, variable length arguments, or type checking within a single method to handle different types of inputs. So in encapsulation naman, it involves combining the methods, functions that manipulates the data and the data itself, attributes, into a single unit or class and limiting access to specific parts of the object. So we have the access modifiers, which is public member. It can be accessed and modified directly without any restriction. The protected member can be accessed and modified but within that class and its subclasses. Then the private member can only be accessed and modified within the class where they are defined. However, hindi ito nagana sa Python kaya gumagamit na lang ng tinatawag na name angling para yun na lang yung palatandaan ng developer kung gaano ito ka-accessible. So for the name angling, sa public member wala na siyang underscore. Pero dito, sa protected member, meron siyang isang underscore, then yung identifier. Sa private member naman ay dalawang underscore, then yung identifier name. Now, para ma-access yan, kakailanganin na ng setters and getters. So in setters, it is used to set or change the value of an attribute, often including checks or validations to ensure the new value is acceptable. While the getters is used to retrieve the value of an attribute, possibly performing additional processing before returning the value. So for example, makikita dito sa superclass, sa baba ng instructor, yung mga attributes doon, meron merong isang underscore, which is yung mga protected attributes, yung meron doon dalawang may underscore, which is yung private attributes. Now, nandito na yung mga setters and getters. Yung setter nga yung nagsiset or nag-change ng value ng attribute, pati na rin nag-check or nag-validate nito para makita na yung bagong value ay accepted. While yung getters naman, yun yung nagre-retrieve ng value ng attribute, kumbaga yun yung nagre-return ng value. Then, makikita yung nag-create na ng instances ng car. Sunod na doon yung pag-access and pag-modify ng mga attributes paggamit na nga ng getters and setters. And yung pagsiset or paglalagay ng mga attributes gamit ang setters. Last, and yung pag-access para makita yung output using getters. And this will be the output. Last is abstraction. This means keeping detailed implementation details hidden and displaying an object's basic characteristics only. Halimbawa na lang nito yung sa sasakyan. Pag nagda-drive, meron dun yung brake, steer left, steer right, acceleration, mga ganyan. Pero behind that, yung kumbaga alam lang natin yung functionality para saan, pero hindi natin alam kung ano yung process. So yun yung sa abstraction. Tinatago nito yung mga codes, yung mga program, behind that, yung process. And yung mga inilalabas lang nito, yung maiintindihan ng mga gumagamit. Another example is yung phone. Alam lang natin mag-turn on, pag-turn off, pero ano nga bang nangyari? Paano nag-turn on? Paano nag-turn off? Ano yung process? No? So, katulad nito, example is yung smartphone. Nakalagay na smartphone siya, din yung power state niya, then nakalagay doon, choose an operation, merong 6 na operation kung saan pwedeng pumili, then yun yung gagana. Pero hindi dito nakadisplay yung code kung paano siya or yung process ng paggana niya. So kumbaga dito, user is familiar with that what function does but they don't know how it does. So the last part, real-world applications, demonstration tips, and best practices. Sa inheritance, yung mga real-world application is yung mga shops, vegetable shops, or fruit shops. Sa polymorphism naman, yung remote control, media player. Yung sa encapsulation naman, more on para sa tao to, or yung sa nagde-develop. Yung pagiging discipline and efficiency, pati yung security ng program. While dito sa abstraction naman, pwede dito yung search engine. Actually, maraming iba. Ito lang yung mga naiisip kong mga real-world applications as of the moment. So for the tips and best practices, always practice. Lalo na dito sa program namin. Kumbaga kailangan talagang self-study, mas mag-aral ng sarili. Para na rin pag merong similar problem na ma-encounter, mabilis na rin siyang masasagutan or ma-resolve. Kahit hindi yung per line alam kung ano yung itatype, basta yung idea lang, then pwede naman mag-search para dun ang kinagandahan lang since nagpractice, madali na lang siyang mare-recall.